So, how to make likable characters. So, what really sparked this idea for me was like, wait a second. There are shows and stories where they literally have similar or literally the exact same premise, plot line, and everything. But I like the story, like, I like one story more than the other, and it's literally just because of the characters, like the difference of characters. Even though the circumstances are like very similar, maybe even the same. And I was like, okay, what does make a character likable? And that's literally the question I'm asking myself. Like, what make characters likable in a story? So maybe I was just thinking about this at work. So instead of working, I was just like jotting ideas down, like what maybe what make characters likable. So yeah, maybe this will help it in your story because this probably is gonna help me in my story. So yeah, let's go. All right. So yeah. So the first thing was ask yourself questions about your characters. What do you like about your characters? And I was like, yeah, that's a great question. What do you even like about your characters? Why do you even have that character in the story in the first place? Like, what is their purpose there? Seriously, like, what is their purpose? And yeah, like, what was your thought process in adding that character in your story in the first place? That's really the main thing I was thinking about. I was like, yeah, like, but the thing is, you might know their role and why they're there, but it doesn't mean that the character is likable. So I was like, okay, we need a better question. So I was like, okay, what would be a better question? What do you admire about the character? Because I realized as I was like brainstorming and thinking, I was like, you know, the characters I like the most is the characters that I admire and respect. And if you think about it yourself, that's probably true as well. If it's not true, then damn, I don't know. Tell me your reasons for liking a character, because that's really the main thing I could think of myself when I like a character. And when I say about admire, I think about like their character traits, like what they value, like what they displayed as characters in the story, like who they are, and a lot of times it ended up being like traits that I would like to have or I'm trying to develop into myself as well, but I don't like fully grasp as yet, but I would like to have that trait in the future at least. So it's like kind of like, oh man, it's like something I'm like, man, I wish I could like pull that off like naturally, like right away. So it's always, at least for me, it's always traits that I would like to have. That's why I write this down here. So I gave a quick example, like handling confrontation and like being decisive. It's something I want to get better at. Like I get better at it at times. Like there's some situations I'm really good at it, and then there's others where I'm like, damn, I don't know what's going on, And yeah, it's like giving traits that are currently my weaknesses and then making them my character strengths is like, wow. This is what leads to me like, okay, what is this character doing that I'm not doing that lets them have the trait and not me, right? And that's how I think about it sometimes. Like I think about it in terms of what can I learn from these characters, and if I admire them, I'm thinking like, okay, there's something I could learn from them to understand how they able to develop these traits and maybe their backstory of how they were raised, or I don't know, their lore of like the turning point of their whole backstory that led to this point in time, and developing these traits. But yeah, that's really the main thing I was thinking about when it comes to like likability, or I don't know, maybe being a likable character and admiration is could be seen as two different things, but I think of it as one of the same. You let me know if you see it any differently. But yeah, that's really what had me thinking. Then the last thing I was thinking about is like this is how family members and friends end up as characters. I was like, I always hear people say like, man, you know, they even they usually have like characters relate to somebody in their life. And I was like always wondering how, like, why is that always the case, or why is that like usually the case at least? And it wasn't until I started writing out my stories myself is when I realized, oh, that's why. Because it's like, if you think about it, where else are you gonna like grasp traits and understand how to write out your characters if you're not experiencing it in your life? A lot of times, maybe it's subconsciously or it's consciously, we get our ideas from our life experience. Like either it is like the philosophy of our characters, the values, the way they think, the way they react to things, who they are. You know, we get it from usually our experiences in life. So it makes sense that it comes from our family members, our friends, whoever we met in life. Maybe he's the random, mailman or whatever. Maybe he's like, I don't know, the random bus guy, you know. And yeah, it could be anything. And that's why I wrote down this question, like, what do you admire about the people in your life? Because maybe you're starting to write down a list of things that you admire, and then trying to think about the people who display those traits in your life. Or maybe even like, it doesn't have to be people in your life, it could also be people, I don't know, your watch on YouTube, or other characters you've seen in other shows that you like. Anything, honestly, anything you were exposed to and you can consume. Like, it doesn't have to be real life. Since we have the internet, we could literally see other displays of characters or humans, nowadays. So anything like that, just think about that first, and then once you write down those traits, it's like, okay, um, think about how that could be implemented and how your characters could have those traits, and maybe that could make them more admirable in your eyes. Because if you admire those characters, then others will too. Like, that's how I view things, like, there's no way that I'm the only one who believes my characters could be likable. There's no goddamn way. Right? Or maybe I'm delusional, and okay, it could be some delusion where, like, oh, it's because you wrote your story, is because you think your character could be likable when it's actually not. Maybe it could be that. But there's, okay, let me say this, there's no goddamn way that, um if one at least one person say your character is likable and is admirable, that there's no way that that sole person is the only one who believes that. Unless unless it's a person who doesn't want to hurt your feelings too. So I don't know where I'm going with this, but I think you get the point, right? Like, I think you get understand what I'm trying to say here. Like, try to focus on people that you respect and you admire, the traits they have and the traits you would like to develop, and place it on your characters if it fits the situation that they're in. And I think you will find out that this is how you make your characters more be seen more, be more invested by readers, by people who look into your story, things like that. At least that's what my thoughts. But I don't know. You can give me your opinions on what you believe makes a character more likable. I truly think this is probably it. Like, this is honestly cracking the code here. If you think I'm missing anything, you let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, I hope this video helps. So click on the link, or video, I should say, a video here or there, and it will be displayed on my consultation calls, helping you with ideas, or if you need feedback on your outline, anything like that. If you feel stuck and you just need to share your outline with somebody, you could click on a video about my consultation call, or you could click on the link down below if you're ready to book a call with me. It should be like an hour session, but make sure you give me time, because I need time to read your outline first, get my ideas going, and then we could meet. So give me time. Keep that in mind, at least, right? So yeah, thank you for watching. And also, as long as you like your characters, I know I was making the jokes about, like, you could be delusional at times with your characters, but if you like your characters, keep them the way they are. Trust me, please do, because you have to believe in your characters. Like, you have to, like, want them to be this way for a reason. Don't just, like, change your characters just because, like, I don't know, someone else said to change it when you don't even like the change. Like, if you don't even agree to the suggestions that other people have, and you're, like, starting to like your character less and less because of what others like suggesting to change, then don't do it. Like, stick to your guns if you feel like that's your best path, or that's what makes the story like great in your eyes, or that's what would make the characters good, or in terms of like you liking your character, of course. But I'm rambling too long, so yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.